What's going on, guys? Today we're gonna do a quick Week 8 and NFL trade deadline, a recap of what's going on right now in NFL news, and stuff like that. So the first thing I'm gonna go over was the Week 8 games and what were my predictions. Let's start off the Cardinals and Packers game. The Packers game I got correctly. I picked the Packers to win that game. I did. So yeah, the Cardinals lost. They're now 7-1, I think. Packers are top of the NFC with the Cardinals in second place, the Cowboys in third place, and the Tampa Bay in fourth. So next, I'm gonna go over the Sunday games. I got the Eagles game correctly. We don't really need to talk about that, but the Eagles did blow out the Lions. The Bengals and Jets game I got incorrect. I picked the Bengals to win. Mike White, former Cowboy, got drafted a couple years ago by the Cowboys, but he ended up getting released. But he ended up balling out against the Bengals. And Mike White he looked very good. 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, but also 2 interceptions. If Mike White continues to play like this, I'm going to say it now, Zach Wilson will lose his job. Mike White, pretty talented so far, but that's just one game and we got to see what he can do. The Tampa Bay game and Saints game, got that one incorrect. I picked Tampa Bay to win, but Jameis Winston's out for the whole season with an ACL and PCL tear. Jameis did good that game, but the defense did really good. Trevor Siemian, whatever his name is, came in and defeated the Bucks, and we'll see what he can do. I know Taysom Hill's out for a little bit more, so Trevor will be the quarterback. And then I got the Chargers game incorrect. Justin Herbert's been looking pretty bad the last couple of weeks, and you guys can blame it on the coaching staff and the O-line, but it's also Justin Herbert's fault. The play where Jared Cook and Justin Herbert did not connect, it was a pick six, and the Patriots ended up winning. Do I think the Patriots will be good? Let's say they have a chance at the playoffs. They're definitely getting better. They came close with Dallas. That's my team. And do I think the Patriots will make the playoffs? Maybe they can. And then for the Sunday night game, I did not expect the Cowboys to win. I still picked the Cowboys to win because I'm biased. But we didn't have Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott wasn't playing. So Cooper Rush came in. I think he only played one game in his whole career, but that was his first start. It looked like a rocky start at the beginning. We allowed a touchdown, missed the field goal, but in the second quarter, my bad, we kept it close. Minnesota went downfield and kicked the field goal to make it 10-0, but Greg Zuerlein at the end of the half made it 3-10. And then I think the first drive of the second half, Cooper Rush threw a touchdown pass to Cedric Wilson, which made it 10-10. And then it was pretty bad on from there, but in the fourth quarter, they scored 13-10. The Minnesota did. We were driving downfield, and Cooper Rush fumbled the ball, and they recovered, but we stopped them. And Dallas went downfield, scored a field goal to tie it up. And then Minnesota went downfield with a lot of bad calls, but some of them were good calls, and I'm going to take ownership. I should take ownership of that. Not really, I didn't do anything, but it was clutch. I was thinking it was third and goal. Kirk Cousins was about to fumble the ball, but he dumped it off the downfield, in which we got stopped. Kicked the field goal, and Cooper Rush went downfield to win the game, and now we're 6-1. The Monday night game wasn't really that good. Monday night Giants versus the Chiefs. That was just, it was alright. It was close, okay? New York honestly looked pretty good. As a division rival, they looked pretty good. But, at the end of the game, Daniel Jones couldn't get the job done, and Kansas City ended up winning. There was a few taunting penalties penalties, I heard. So yeah, and then we're gonna move to the next news. Derrick Henry is out for 6 to 10 weeks with a foot injury, and now they signed Adrian Peterson, which I think is one of the best running backs of all time. But is he still good? He's not good anymore, but he could get the job done. So, and then the next news is that Melvin Ingram is now traded to the Chiefs for a 6th-round pick. Melvin Ingram is still not the player he was when he was with the Chargers, but you know it's a good rotate. I think that's a good trade for the Chiefs. Now they have a really good rotation piece. Frank Clark got his first sack last night. I don't think Frank Clark's that good. He's getting paid like $124 million. But now Melvin Ingram has that's a good rotation piece. Like you just switch them out, and you know. They should trade for some offensive weapons. You know, the offense is really not getting the job done. So they need to get that done. Travis Kelce last night looked pretty bad, fumbling. Patrick Mahomes has now the most interceptions in the league, 10. It's just that offense needs to get better. And the Chiefs, you know, I think they're bad now. We can legitimately call them bad. You know, they've lost to the Titans on a blowout. They lost to the Ravens on a fumble. Lost to the Chargers, which that's pretty bad. And, you know, they lost to another team. I forgot who it was. But, you know, they need to get that stuff together. The next news is Von Miller to the Rams. That defense is looking scary, but the defense... Like, on paper, that defense looks really good. You know, you got Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Leonard Floyd, which I think is a really underrated linebacker. Taylor Rapp, one of the most underrated. I'll say he's a little underrated. He's a real decent safety. And that defense is looking good. The defense has to play good because I think they're top 10 still, but they gotta be top 5 for the Rams to be. Oh, they're still good and all, but Von Miller's not the same player what he was in 2015, who won Super Bowl MVP. You know, the Broncos got like 2-day 2 picks. The Rams, on the other hand, this is their win it all season. I mean, they're gonna be in cap hell next year, and I think they're paying Von Miller $9 million. This is his final year on his contract. So next year he's going to be a free agent unless something happens. But this is the Rams win it all season right here. If the Rams don't win it, it's going to be terrible. Moving on to the next news, we have Jaylon Smith getting released by the Packers. Former Cowboys linebacker got released, like, I want to say the beginning of October. It was the game after the Panthers game. Cowboys released him, and the Packers ended up signing him. He played like 2 games, and now the Packers say, okay, unfortunately, we're gonna release you. Now, Jaylon Smith is now a free agent. There's a lot of teams that can use him, but Jaylon Smith is now hopping on every single team. If I were to pick a team that would need him, maybe the Bengals. Because their linebackers are kind of mediocre. You know, they have 2 decent linebackers. Jeremy Pratt, the middle linebacker, he's decent, but they need more linebacker depth. The depth charts really matter. Like, if you could rotate them out and put them back in. That's one. Washington's probably another team. John Bostic is not the player he was last year. Or with Pittsburgh. So I would say Washington. Dallas could get him back now because Jabril Cox, our linebacker, is out for the whole season with an ACL tear, so we could try to get him back. And then I would say another team would be probably, I would say maybe the Steelers. Honestly, the Steelers linebackers they're okay. I mean, they have TJ Watt, who's really an edge like rusher, and you know, I would also say another team would be potentially it could honestly be maybe the Cardinals. The Cardinals need a little bit of linebacker help. Jordan Hicks might get traded this offseason, but Jalen Smith is still out there. Okay, our final news is unfortunately, well, the one more thing before we get to that news. The Chiefs traded for, not the Chiefs, the 49ers traded for some player on the Texans. I forgot his name, but he's a decent player. I mean, that's a 2023 round pick traded for that player who is decent. He won't be a superstar, but he's good at rotating. If the 49ers need a little bit more defensive help, I think. So that player will be good for the rotation, like to swap people out. And yeah. And for the Cowboys news, before I get to unfortunately news, the Cowboys news is that we won't be pursuing anyone. We tried to get Von Miller apparently, according to sources, but I don't know how true that is. But we won't be pursuing anyone. Michael Gallup will be coming back soon. Dak Prescott is coming back to play Denver. DeMarcus Lawrence will be coming back, and we're going to be better. I mean, we're already good, but we're going to be playing our first home game in like 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So I'm definitely hyped up about that. So yeah. And then the final news is that Henry Ruggs III, unfortunately, this morning around like 3 o'clock, he killed someone, driving under the influence of alcohol. He was driving and he struck a driver and killed him. Unfortunately, Henry Ruggs might be, he's probably going to go to jail. Unfortunately, he's such a stud player, but now his career is probably over. My thoughts and prayers are with the driver that did die. It's unfortunate, and to Henry Ruggs, I'm glad he's okay, but you can't be doing that shit, bro. You killed someone, bro. You gotta be aware of your surroundings. And if you're an NFL player making a lot of money, you can just call someone to pick you up, an Uber, someone to pick you up, and it's just unfortunate that life is gone now. It's just sad, and he's probably done for, unfortunately. But it's crazy. So I will be back another time probably, but this is just a quick update. It's just crazy news today. It is what it is. It's not really, but it's bad news. But definitely, it's sad. So I'll be back another time. Probably do more gameplay videos like this. And yeah, catch you guys later.